All right. All right. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Depending on where in the world you're logging on from, you've dialed in, you're watching, you may be listening to the Save Club Corporate Zoom today. This is our corporate training update and content drop. And what do I mean by content drop? Where we give you stuff to go do marketing with to drive leads, drive traffic, drive more pre-enrollees, and ultimately more enrollments in your Save Club business. So it's my honor, my pleasure, and a privilege to always turn this call over to our amazing CEO, Charles Mooey, who's always working on stuff, folks, always bringing more value to the opportunity, to the membership, to the company. And so let's sit back. I'd all be paying attention to Mr. Charles Mooey here today on Monday, the 23rd of March already. Over to you, Charles.
All right, Matt, thanks for the great introduction. Um, how would all of y'all like to have some state-of-the-art marketing tools? Be able to operate like a top-tier affiliate marketer, be able to utilize all the different products, all the different things we have here to really just spread value out, through social media, through list building, through, having the right, tools and AI communication tools. Well, we've got some exciting stuff right now, brewing. Today we've got Emerson Willis with us. You might know Emerson from the Monster Engager, AI Facebook tool that has just done such a great job in being able to utilize your profile, get attention, direct people in, and we're putting together something to put together a additional marketing suite. So what's great with Save Club is we've got so many different ways for people to become engaged with the company, from being a pre-enrollee and utilizing the app, sharing the app for free. And this goes well with our nonprofit groups, with our databases, where we're able to just get the app out to tons of people where they can utilize it, and it's able to generate $5 to people sharing it and so on. Well, let's start expanding to the type of people that we can reach to. So we've got members, and for our members, from the traveling and all the deals that we have with our $19 membership, and we've got our affiliates, our elite travel members. So our arsenal of products, our ability to market more products, increases the amount that we can be earning. So a key thing when we're talking about just kind of overall revenue, you know, any product that we bring in to Save Club that we can make commissionable, we want to be able to do that, because the more stuff that we can bring out, the more commissions we can roll through the compensation plan. So I'm thinking, what would be the best tool? What would be the best product that will help all the affiliates grow their business? And we've constructed a marketing suite where you can utilize the tools. It's a fully commissionable product, and it matches up the Save Club values, where we've got an extreme amount of value into a package of products, so that it's just something that you can market. We can, have it in here, commissionable, and so on. So, I'm going to talk to Emerson about his background in, developing tools, developing, subscription-based stuff, and particularly around Monster Engager. Now, Emerson, when putting together a tool like this, it's a service-based tool. It helps people. Well, when we've got a tool that can help people grow their business, it's kind of self-fulfilling. So it's like, now we've got a commissionable product that is fulfilling. For those people that don't know about Monster Engager on the call, can you share with them what the tool is, and why it's in existence?
Absolutely. Yeah. More than happy to do that. Yeah. The way I always start this out is, if you've used something like this, great. But my question to anybody really is, whether you have a product or a message or anything, you need eyeballs and ears, right? And so one of the things that I've found and discovered from this program that we have here is outbound engagement is probably one of the most overlooked things I've seen in marketing, because we do a lot of, you can text message someone, you can email someone, but believe it or not, engaging with people can be one of the most powerful ways to attract them back to yourself. So I always ask people when I'm in a group like this, I asked them, what's your current game plan to engage with at least 20 to 30 people every single day? And most people are like, they kind of pause. I don't know if I really have an answer for that. And so what we do with the Engager AI is anybody can do that by the click of a button. I probably press it once or twice, maybe 3 times a day. And that's about the extent of it. The key with it is it has to be set up right. Now, if you want, I can kind of show you what that looks like. Do you want me to share my screen and show any of it, or should I just talk
Yeah,
about
yeah, absolutely. Well, Emerson.
it? Okay, yeah, 1 second. Let me bring this screen over too. I have so many screens open. I gotta make sure I got.
Yeah, and you just reminded me. I'm running my Engager right now, and I'm looking at the engagements from uh yesterday that I was running them, and it's like these are friends of mine that kind of out of sight, out of mind. And I'm not hanging out on social media looking at all this, but now I've got these beautifully written posts to, well, I don't know, there's probably about 16 people here.
Mhm.
And this type of engagement, this type of top of mind awareness is going to, really help me, especially if they're people that they're already aware of what we're doing, and we start hitting them with emails and text messages through the system. If they're already a pre-enrollee, it's like now there's that extra level of connection. And the world is so busy, it's so noisy right now, that when someone gets a personally written message, it really connects you and endears you to them, and then doing it in an automated way. It's just one of those things where engagement is clutch.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the other thing too is I don't think a lot of us, if we haven't done this before, we don't realize how many opportunities are right underneath our nose. And whether you're new to Facebook or you've been there for a while, like Charles was saying, there's a lot of dormant possible connections that are just sitting there. But if we're not engaging, they don't, we don't exist to them, right? We want to be top of mind. So I want to share my screen and just show you because I think visually that probably helps the most. So I'm going to share my whole screen here and pop back into the background. So the idea is I just want you to understand where this lives. So on Facebook, I don't know if you know this, but there's over 1 billion people logging in every single day. Now, obviously, I or you are not going to see that many people, but this place that it's operating in is in your news feed. So what it's going to do is it's going to go down and it's going to read the entire post. Here's a wonderful example. It's going to read every single word. It's going to go into the comments, and it's also going to read all of the comments. What that allows us to do is get context, so the AI actually knows what it's engaging with. Then what it does is it actually goes through the settings that we have in your prompting. So right now, this is where the special sauce is. This is what gives it personality. So your system prompt gives it a personality, and the prompt here tells it what job to do. But when I show you what this looks like, you have to ask yourself a question: how many of us are going to stop and read this whole post? And then, think, you're going to have to do some mental gymnastics before you even think about what you're going to write. A lot of people at best, if they're in here, they might drop a heart or a like or something like that and move on. And if you're like me, I don't even really have time to spend 2 or 3 hours going through and reading these posts and then leaving some sort of comment. So we don't really exist if we're not doing that. So this is where it operates, is in the newsfeed. And I want to show you a couple examples that were really significant for me. I'll use some ones that were really kind of fun. And again, it just depends. Here's a guy named Todd Falcone. You guys might have heard of him. He speaks on a lot of stages, really involved in direct sales space. But I'll pull up something that happened for me. So my engager's going out there, and it made some comments several times on his live feed, over maybe a couple weeks. If you notice my inbox here, it says, saw your comment on my live the other day. What's your story, my friend? And happy early birthday. So I attracted him to me by leveraging this tool that we have running in the background right now. So what's so cool about this is that out. So he reached out to me that afternoon. We hopped on a call. He gave me his phone number. I got him set up actually using this very exact same tool that we're talking about right now. And we're doing some business together. And, that's going to result in a sizable amount of, transactions that come from just connecting with them. I've had many, many occasions like this. I just wanted to give you an example. Another one was, these are obviously more prominent, but these were really fun ones. I never knew this was going to happen. Here's another one, Rachel Peterson, 425,000 followers. My engager went out there and made a comment. Now I want you to see what happened. Do you see her reaching out to me? She's starting the thread. I loved your thoughtful comments today. Always enjoy meeting new people with fun ideas. Well, I jumped in there. You got to volley back. This just started the volley. But again, I actually said, hey, we should hop on, maybe have a conversation. And next thing you know, I had a 45-minute phone call with her that afternoon. And we're working on several JV deals right now as a result of engaging with her. I had been following her for 2 years. She is a social media titan. That would have never happened if I wasn't running this tool in the background. So I've been experimenting with some different strategies right now. That's the fun part. But it's my engagers out there making comments every day. I'm hitting around anywhere between 20 and 30. It depends on the day. If you do the math, that's over 9,000 touches, outbound touches. Here's another cool guy, Drew Griffin. I did my engager did a comment on one of his posts. He thought it was so brilliant. He reached out to me, and the next thing you know is we're doing business together. We're doing some affiliate marketing together. Guy's got a big network. That would have never happened again if I'm not reaching out. So what this does is it opens up doors that would have not otherwise been there. The other thing I do is ongoing is help people understand how do we make this news feed that's on Facebook full of more people that we want to connect with. So if you want to clean up your news feed, make sure you're telling Facebook, hey, I'm interested in this post. If it's a bunch of garbage, you might say, hey, I don't really want this. Like, I'm not, looking for this, not interested. The more you tell it, what it'll start doing is filling your news feed with the type of people you want to connect with. So here's a guy, Ray Higdon, and he's a huge, and I've already been engaging with this guy a lot. So my news feed is filling up with more and more of the type of people that I want to connect with, and I can help you guys do the same there. So this is where the engager lives, and when it's doing outbound engagement, it's pretty awesome. Like you can see, this is just yesterday. I'm engaging with a lot of folks. So the question for you is if not this, then what? What is your plan to engage with 20 or 30 people a day? And another thing I explain to people, when you meet people offline, I always recommend go send them a friend request online, because that may be the only way that you'll be able to engage with them again. Because yeah, maybe you got their phone number, maybe you got their email, but this makes it very personal. Because I'll tell you what, when you're engaging with someone, it makes them feel seen and it makes them feel heard, right? And you typically like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So this really helps collapse that time frame. So, and it also doesn't feel very salesy. It feels very personal. And what happens is when your engager makes a comment on the post, they're going to get a notification that says, hey, so and so just made a comment. Here you go. Here's a guy, he's in the direct sales space. He's very high up, and we're working on some deals with this particular tool, just as I explained. But here's a comment that I made. Let's see, chasing. So you can see it read through. I made a comment, and the way we've designed it is to leave an open loop, because when you leave an open loop, what happens is typically the other person responds. And what this does is it sends signal to Facebook that says, hey, these two know each other. I need to make sure that I'm suggesting Emerson to Brent's friends. And I need to make sure that I'm showing Emerson's post to Brent's post. Because what most of us do is we're not giving what we want to get. So a lot of us are posting stuff, but we're not going out there and giving people engagement. So therefore, you're probably not going to get a lot of engagement back. Here's another guy. You guys might have heard him. He's been in the direct sales space for a long time. Randy Schroeder. I just interviewed this guy the other day. Anyways, he's running this right now and only doing about 11 outbound comments. I just confirmed yesterday after 2 weeks, and he might be an exception, but he's actually signing up at least one person in his business every day, which is an extremely high level result, probably because his profile hits a little bit more, but just from the outbound engagement. So anyways, yeah, it's very powerful. Anybody can do it. I have customers that are 85 years old that are running this program because it's this hard. You literally click this button and it's running. Now, what we do with you at Save Club is we want to work with you to make sure you have your settings right. and you have your comments right, if you don't get this right, this tool will not perform very well for you, because bad input equals bad output. So yeah, so
So,
that's
Emerson, can you touch base on the setup there? You know, if people do, select to use Monster Engager, what type of service you have to get them set up so that there's a smooth process so they can start utilizing the tool right away, and you've got the right, because there's anytime you're putting together a new tool, there's a little bit of a learning curve. But Emerson's put like a white glove package together to help someone get started and start working, with the right prompts and right into your system.
Yeah, that's a really good point you bring up. What I've just noticed is a lot of folks that use the Engager, we do have a do-it-yourself path, because it does take someone from our time, from our team, time to go in there, set it up, sync it to your profile, and make the prompting just right. And sometimes we need to tweak it a couple times. Anybody here who's used it might have had that experience where it's like, it's not quite right. So getting it set up by a pro, like someone like myself and my team, we've done hundreds of setups, so we know what not to do and what to do. So we'll figure out something with Charles wherever we need to do that. But what you'll want to do is you'll want to fill out a form. If you want the team to do it from a pro side, there will be a charge for that, just because, I mean, anytime a person's giving their time, it's just, we can only do so much of that. So, but what happens is you're going to fill out a form that just tells us a little bit about your personality. Because what we want to do is we want to give this little engager that blueprint that feels like you, but we also want to dial it in right, just so it's actually extremely effective on Facebook. I've seen people use this tool, and sometimes it's a little bit too flowery, or maybe it's too dry. The comments are there, but they're kind of like bleh. So what we want to do is make you an interesting person who is attracting other people to yourself. So yeah, short and simple, let us do the brain work there. All you do is fill out a form, we get it set up. And then, if you're like, hey, it's not sounding good, then we'll usually do a couple of adjustments till we get it dialed in. But on your end, it shouldn't be much more than just letting that thing run. But it's basically initiating conversations that are opening doors. It's kind of like a volley, right? If I lobbed a ball over the net and you hit it back, we could start volleying. That's a conversation. Now, if you're not lobbing a ball over the net, you're not going to have a conversation. If you're not doing any engagements with folks out there, it's going to be really hard to move from non-engagement to a conversion or a sign up, right? We have to have outbound engagements, especially with more and more people every single day. So yeah, the
So,
setup, you go ahead.
I had a question, Emerson, from a group that, they've got a nonprofit page and they've got a lot of people part of
Mhm.
it. Does the Engager work with the businesses, or is only personal profiles?
So yeah, because of the nature of how things work inside of Facebook's ecosystem, we do sync it to your personal profile, and that's very important. So it does have to be synced to a personal profile, because once it's synced to it, it's married to it. It's basically kind of like your twin. When you turn this thing on, it's going out there on your behalf and getting those initiations of those conversations started, setting you up for the open door opportunity that you wouldn't have otherwise had.
Yeah. And I'm going to share my screen, Emerson, to just,
Oh wait, go
show
ahead. Yeah, am I still sharing?
how this is, no.
Okay, good. There you go.
But I'm going to share. I'm going to turn on my sound too. So inside, here's my Engager running right now, and it's like, oh man, like all these great people. I'm just out of sight, out of mind, not connecting with them. That I would love to have that opened up again. I can imagine like Kelly's probably going to reach out to me today because the Engager commented here, and they wrote in a beautiful thing as well. But once you're starting to get more attention, people are going to come back. They're going to look at your wall. They're going to see what you're talking about, and that's where these drops really come in handy. So here's another great content drop, and Dave came out with today, and like we talked about, just getting the things that are seasonal. We're now pulling attention. People are kind of come back and see what's going on, and these add up. Like Emerson was saying, even when you have over a year's time frame, 9,000 engagements, the amount of ads that would take, for people to see that. And it's so much more powerful. Like, as we've been looking into the different Facebook marketing, for even just a click in certain niches, it costs over $1. Facebook ads are super expensive. So, but when you're able to comment onto someone's post, they read it, they click over to see what you're doing, they're in, you're getting multiple, the value is very tangible, when it's there. And then when you've got these beautiful design creatives that that are engaging, and you can put links right to a capture page, you're bringing them into your funnel. So we're going to be adding even more tools to this to help you as a professional marketer. Now, that's one thing that we've noticed here. Now we're in Save Club here. We're approaching our 1 year anniversary, and working with people that are in the home-based business space. I see that a lot of people do multiple things. Well, one thing that the successful marketers really have in common is they have a database that they're building, either their influence inside of their social media, or they have the proper email list and tools. Now with Save Club, you can be utilizing the landing pages, capturing the information. You can always export your list and use it, but having tools to communicate and your control of your own CRM. And there are a CRM is a contact management system, and having those relationships and how you manage them is important. And it could be something as easy as once a year you send out a Christmas card, or you're niched into a certain area. Your niche could be travel, your niche could be savings. Well, being able to pull up examples, or even pull some of this stuff right from the content drop and put it in an email and send it to people, it's that marketing and that consistency in the marketing that can really help people. And then when you're able to pull them together, like the live webinars have been fantastic because people get to hear the personality, they get to engage in a team. So these tools of automated AI engagement, the CRM connection, and the ability to communicate on a webinar, we've worked at the highest level to find the best tools, and we're putting together a package right now that that has extreme value, like over $2,500 in value, and we sell it for a year for $120. So it's like, that's where we lead with Save Club, is to give our members and our affiliates the extreme value, and make that a commissionable product. So this is something to look forward to. And it starts with utilizing the tools that we have from what's here inside the content drop, and more on the engager. So if anybody, while we have Emerson with us, if anybody has a Monster Engager question, this would be the right time to post that up. I've got one for you, Emerson.
Yeah.
When you look at tools, and you look at other tools that are like out there on Facebook, I've yet to find anything else out there that does this, that uses the power of AI and uses the contacts and gets the engagement. I'm sure you've seen, anytime something comes up, you probably see something else out there.
Yeah.
Why has something like this not been available, or is there a competition to this? I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, there's something else out there, and you have to do it manually. So I can't just press the button and have it run and do the 20 that I need it to do. And you might as well at that rate just have like Chat GPT open in another window and like copy paste, but that's less efficient than this, and it's less consistent. The other tool that I've seen that was not really quite the same, was far inferior from a user interface perspective, and also $97 a month for the tool. So it's inferior and twice as much. Yeah, it's really key. I think the thing that we really want to do here, Charles, is the tool in and of itself is great, but the execution is so much more important. And one thing I would like to do for everybody here, Charles, is figure out a way to where, because understanding Facebook as an environment is so critical, because when you actually are utilizing this tool, you're going to start to realize just how big this ocean of opportunity is. And there's no reason that anybody on this call should actually run out of contacts. You know what happens? You join a really great opportunity, you have a great offer, and you've shared it with your friends, your family, maybe some close contacts. And then a lot of people get stuck right there, right? So there's no need for you to run out of people. In fact, you shouldn't even need to be able to be dependent on that. So the idea is two things: social media hygiene. We want to make sure that your Facebook is set up in a really good way that's going to be conducive for this. And also, let's make sure you just have to press that engagement button to where you're not thinking very hard about it. We got to make things simple these days, right? We got busy lives. Yeah.
That's a perfect point. Now I'm going to demonstrate exactly how the engager works for those of you that hasn't totally clicked yet. When we started this webinar, I clicked one button and I started the engagement. See, it's still running right now. So just since we've been on the webinar, Shanda, Ryan, Rhonda, Joshua, Saturn, Joseph, Dallas, Wyatt, Curry, Brian, Kelly, Zachalina, and Greg have all been connected with a message that comes directly from my profile right to them. And these are all dear friends of mine that I want to communicate with. There's just only so much time in the day. But now, as they're starting to check out what's going on, they're seeing that, wow, Charles is still rocking out Save Club. We're doing webinars every week. They're seeing these things, and they may or may not know that that's what I'm doing, but they're going to go check it out. Now, the likelihood, like when I reach out, if they respond back, I'm going to go hit them up on the messenger and just be a friend and just find out what they're up to, what their life is about. Much more than just like a stalker engagement looking at their Facebook wall, but actually connect with them. And that's what the world is really missing right now. So we've got this abundance of relationships and prospects, but re-engaging and connecting with them at the right time, it's hard to judge that. But if someone's responding, there's a message, there's that spark, then it fosters a much easier engagement, easier way to present, an easier way to find out what's going on in their life, and what their vision is, because you never know really what's going on with somebody until you connect with them.
Yep. Yeah, it's so true. And by the way, that's kind of I love that you demonstrated that, because right now we're having this call. I'm not really thinking about it, but Charles and I are paralleling at the very same time. And if you just take a quick peek, just so you can see what it looks like, here I am. Since we've started this call, I'm 7 engagements further than I was before I started this call. And I'm showing up in other people's world. Like, this guy is someone I'm working on right now. I've been hitting him several times. It's all about consistency. Here's another one, Ray Higdon. I got this guy. Anyways, right now I'm working. I'm gonna knock out my 20 to 30 engagements today. The question is, are you? And to be able to answer that question as a yes, how will that change? How will that change your life when you're doing that consistently? Right?
Matt Jameson here up in Canada. We get a question in the chat asking, how much is your setup fee if they want you to professionally set it up for them?
Well, when I do it, that's a great question, by the way. I'm working out something with Charles, and I want to talk about that. When I do it retail outside of the world, outside of Save Club, I have done it for $97, but I'm working out something that'll be more feasible for this group, because I really want to take care of the Save Club community, because I know that we're all trying to, activate and do things, and sometimes that can be a stretch. But I'm going to talk with Charles a little bit more about that. So yeah.
And part of that conversation is, one big drive is the value is there to have a tool like this running and to have someone personally work on your profiling setup. That's a great deal. I'm going to work out something at Emerson so that we can have that, consistent person be able to set these up. But I'd like to put it in and have it commissionable so that we have more money flowing through the comp plan, because that's a key thing. It's like the value is there. I don't want to just keep discounting things down when we could just take that extra bit and put it through the comp plan and start rewarding people, because it's far from gouging. It's an amazing setup. It's an amazing deal to have that. Well, if we can pull additional money and put it through the compensation plan, then all of your efforts, everything that you've built, there's more there. Because when you're looking at the way that the world is going right now, and it blows my mind every time I drive by the gas station and it's over $5, $5 a gallon for gas here in Las Vegas. It pains me that, because I know what's going on out there. So it's like, okay, there's a couple things. You can save your way down to zero, if you're the best savers person on the planet, but you can earn your way to whatever style of income. But we've got to have the right products with the value in here. So this Magic Suite, this Save Club marketing suite we're putting together, it really knocks down a couple of points. One, additional commission in the plan, more tools and ability to do marketing, and that'll foster the more duplication and utilize a lot of the things that we've built from content drops and landing pages and those pieces. So steering the where we want to go, I'm always have in mind, how are we going to create, first and foremost, a win-win-win situation for everybody involved, and support our affiliates with the most tools and the best opportunity to be making extra income.
Awesome. Hey, Charles. So James, you're not muted. I don't know if you meant to do that. I'm going to mute you,
Yeah.
James, unless you were coming off to ask a
Well,
question. Emerson,
I unmuted Natafia because she said that she's been with the Engager, yet has not been able to make that connection to the setup. So this would be a good testimonial. Emerson, can you reach out directly to Natafia just on the chat and just connect with her? I'd like to use this as an example of going through the setup. So I'm going to sponsor Natafia's setup so that we have a nice testimonial of how the setup worked. And she's been with the Engager here for a couple of months, but hasn't got that connected. Can you work with her and get her the custom setup? And then what we'll do, Natafia, is we'll come on and we'll go through that practice and utilize you as a Save Club affiliate to basically follow the path here, to get the engagements, to do the direct conversations and generate a lead. This is a perfect example of how we can demonstrate how this works. And so I'd like nothing more to get you set up. So I don't know, Emerson.
Thank you.
No problem. No. Yeah, that's not a problem. I'll definitely take care of it. And one thing I want to just tell you, because I know that
Hold on.
the difference between the Engager working incredibly and then somewhere in between and bad can literally be just a very small adjustment. And that is the part that's tricky, is when this thing works, it's so wild. Charles, you know what I'm saying? Because you're hitting all the right people. And when you can confidently, be able to do those outbound engagements, it's so critical. So what I've always told people is, if we're having any trouble with it, let's figure it out. You know what I mean? Because it would be a shame for someone to be missing out on those 20 to 30 outbound engagements. And you'll hear me say 20 to 30 a lot. The reason I say that is, if you start going well above that, you're going to kind of start pressing the envelope with Facebook. It's kind of like speeding on the highway. If you get a new Ferrari and go 125 miles an hour, you're going to get pulled over. It's not going to go well. But 20 to 30 is a really, really nice spot, I've learned. And here's the thing, there's no reason why you've got this wonderful offer at Save Club. Who knows what else you do beyond Save Club? There's a reason why people need to connect with you. So I want to help you connect with more people. So I've got you, Natafia. And again, as far as people, they're asking about some of the old Facebook accounts. The Facebook newsfeed will literally transform if you start doing exactly what I'm saying. Is the more that you do outbound engagement, Facebook's going to start feeding you more and more and more and more. You'll get, you'll naturally have people showing up in your newsfeed that you're not even connected with, you're not even following, but they're typically people that are getting more traction, more feed, because Facebook when you do a good post, Facebook starts to give it more viewers. It starts to spread it out wider. So if you want to connect with people that are getting traction, just be in the news feed, be engaging. If you do it manually, that's great. I mean, if you've got the time
Hey,
to,
hey,
yeah,
testimony. Ready how this worked?
yeah,
So we've been running the engager since we've been on here, right?
yeah.
And it posted here with Kelly, and here's the engager post that came out from my account, and here she's reaching back. So now I'm gonna reach out to her. That's exactly how it works. So while I'm over here hosting the webinar, the engager's running in the background, and it got to one of our diamond, one of our 4 stars here at Save Club. And do I want to reach out to Kelly? I absolutely do. Am I busy all day long? I am. But now we've got something to connect on. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to private message her, and we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to bring Save Club back to top of mind awareness and let her know what's going on. And we'll probably see her pop on the next webinar and get that level of engagement. So that's an exact way of getting another very busy, influential person. She's seeing that on my account that we connected, and um I don't have like a humongous Facebook account. And when I saw the engager, who it was connecting to, these are people I haven't talked to in like a year, but I want to, and they probably want to know what I'm up to, and to share. So
And Charles,
social media is very powerful, but it can be a distraction if you're trying to go in here and connect these things. This is a way to just mine out those relationships and get right to a communication, and do it in a way where you're creating more connection. Because really, the when someone says your net worth is in direct proportion to your network, sure, but what's the quality of your network? How much engagement, how much relationship is there? Because that is a big factor of it.
hey, Charles, real fast. Emerson, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody's actually asking in the comments as well if they have a small amount of Facebook friends. But this will actually go into groups and pages if you set the proper settings and interact in groups and pages, make comments, which would possibly allow for your following to grow if you're making the right comments, engaging, asking questions, adding value from your engager. Is that correct, Emerson?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up. One thing I'll tell you, think about it from Facebook's perspective is Facebook would love to keep you on their platform. Am I right? Because they want you there. So here's what's going to happen. As your engager is going out there, he's right. Matthew is absolutely correct. So you want to join pages and groups where the type of people you want to connect with are. That could be locally. That could be, I don't know. Who are you looking for? Who's your type person? Is it single moms that do affiliate programs? Is it like you figure out what you want? And there are groups galore. There is like an unlimited amount of public groups. Go join those. Some of them aren't that great, but what I want to tell you is think back on what I said there. Facebook wants to keep you on the platform. And here's the thing, Facebook thinks that you're engaging. So every time you engage with a post, Facebook's thinking, oh, Natafia is interested in this person. Oh, Natafia is interested in this. Oh, Natafia is interested in this. So what they're going to do is start feeding you more and more and more of that. But what I was saying earlier, I don't know if you caught it. The people that are getting more traction on their posts, which are bigger influencers, if you will, they're not always big, but their posts are getting a wider spread. Those are going to show up in your news feed. And when you start to engage, like I'm starting to get more and more connected with high level people just because Facebook thinks that's what I want. And I tell it, remember those 3 little dots in the top right hand corner of the actual post in the news feed? Click those 3 dots and hit interested. The more you keep telling Facebook, I want more of this, it's going to keep feeding it to you. And Facebook loves when we're giving outbound engagement. Think about it from their perspective. Their customer is the person on Facebook, right? So if their customer gets a comment from us, that's a bonus as far as Facebook's concerned. They're like, yay, you made my person feel like they exist, right? And you know what? That's actually true. Some people, you have no idea how much sometimes people appreciate a comment because they might be depressed. They might be kind of feeling like, I don't know, do I even exist? And all of a sudden you're showing up and showing them that they matter. Sometimes you'd be surprised how powerful a comment can be. I want to give you one example. I had a guy who started using this. He hadn't talked to his brother in 10 years. And what happened was his engager made a comment on his brother he hadn't talked to in 10 years. And guess what? When he read the comment that it made him cry because it was so beautiful what he said. But then they hopped on a phone call and they basically reconnected. They hadn't talked in 10 years. So this isn't always about transactional stuff. What you're going to notice is it's going to stimulate dormant relationships that you just haven't had time or maybe thought to reactivate. Now, some of you might be a little bit afraid of that. When I turned on my engager for the first time, I was a little bit scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Like, but actually, I had so many people messaging me saying, hey, Emerson, what have you been up to? Wow, it's been a long time. Guess what? We're hopping on a phone call. Hey, I'm doing this new thing called Save Club. You should check it out. I just sent you a link. Boom. Just starting conversations opens the door. So I'm really excited for you guys because it's not always, again, at the end of the day, it's not always about making money. Of course, we'd like to make some money, but your relationship bank account is going to continue to get filled. The more that you give out engagement, you're going to get it back. And there's that whole law of reciprocity. If if you want to be interesting, it's good for you to first be interested in other people. If it's all about me, me, most people on Facebook, I'll tell you, they're just posting, hey, look at me. It's like spam. It's like a commercial. It's like actually go out there and connect with people and make them feel good. So anyways, that's my whole thing. I'm very passionate about it because over the last year, I can't even count on two hands how many new relationships I have. I can't even keep up with it, you guys. My days are a little bit crazy, to be honest, because I'm connecting with so many different people. I almost can't keep track of it. And I want you guys to have that same problem. It's a really good problem to have.
Yeah. I mean, the key thing about building this type of business when you're, building a team and, you're looking for, creating a relationship, you do want to find the type of people that you want to work with. And Emerson, as you were showing your piece there, I can tell where you're going. You're shooting right for the biggest influential, on stage speakers and whatnot. And, not everyone needs to go, shoot for that. But you understood that. So a lot of it comes back to just who are you being? Are you being of service in terms of savings? Are you being of service of bringing someone a business opportunity or into the Save Club community here? So that's another piece that we'll be training on too. It's just about as who are you being as you're connecting with these people, and what's your ultimate goal? And I found that going into these conversations or the chats or whatever, and just being intentional and having a clear intention of how I'd like to create connection, that's been really important in all the conversations and the things I'm doing. So yeah, just being more intentional with it, and that's where it's like a funnel system where you're getting your engagement out there, you're creating a connection, but to create that electricity inside of a relationship, that's where if you go in with the right intention and ask the right questions, it can go well. So it's how do you be of service with what we have to offer? And it's easy to do, especially, with these pieces coming out. So, one thing as we start to wrap this up here, having an additional set of tools and having it, be available and commissionable, it gives us some more areas to help you with your earnings, help you attract in professional people, but also just help build your network and your community so that you've got a list that you can market with. So look forward to what we're doing here with the Save Club Marketing Suite, and we're going to be leading off with Engager being as one of the tools, a communication platform, like an additional webinar platform. We'll be switching our webinar platform from Zoom here so that we can start doing more broadcasting. Zoom's been a great tool for us, and I like how so many people are familiar with it. But the Zoom as a technology is really starting to fall behind. Where when we should be able to do simultaneous broadcasts through YouTube, through Facebook, through all these different through um, through other streaming platforms, and then be able to offer up, pop-up links and stuff onto the page. So there's some new technologies here that are going to make all of us more effective and better marketers. So here we got about 10 minutes on the call. I want to open it up. If anyone's got, any questions or any questions in Save Club, at all, I'd love to, utilize our
Charles,
Mondays to get with people.
Michael's asking in the comment, how does he get Engager Pro? Should he wait for the suite to come out before he gets the
No,
Monster Engager?
no, well, get started now, and
How does he get started?
don't hesitate. So what you're going to want to do, let me show you.
It's
Inside
to me.
of
Hello.
Deborah,
inside,
you're unmuted, so
yep, you can see my back office here. So inside the back office here, you go down here to the exclusive deals, and what's great is we've got, the best price here on Engager. It's about to get better with the suite, but utilize it now, and it'll all work out for you. And you just go right here. You click this, you click the custom link back here, and you go through the custom Save Club enrollment here. And then if you want to do the custom enrollment, there's a form for that. Here's Emerson giving us, the best price out there. And that's that's how you get started. So let me show you again. So from the back office, you find the exclusive deals, and Engager Pro is one of the exclusive deals right here. Just, make sure you click the link there, and you get the Save Club, pricing.
Yeah, do make sure you use the coupon code on there. Otherwise, I've had people go through there and it says it really clearly, but sometimes people don't see that. It's Save Club is the coupon.
Yep.
So make sure you apply that in there.
Yeah, because that's going to save you on everything.
And one more thing I just want to say, if anyone's ever having any trouble with it, please be respectful of it. But the thing is I put my information out there. I want to make sure you're having a great experience. My relationship with Charles and Save Club and everybody here is so important. This has to be successful for everybody, because if we can all win, we can all start winning together, right? Because I don't want just you to win. I want your team that you're building to win, if that makes sense. Because when we can start to get that momentum, things get really exciting. So
yeah. So one second. I'm just typing back into the chat here. Yeah. So the marketing suite, we're pretty far along into the conversations here about what it's going to take to have it all customized and together, and then then there'll be the different training components that we roll out with it. So it's definitely something that we can look forward to, and it could be as early as next Monday, as we've got links into it. But the Engager is definitely a part of it. So that's one thing that we can get started with now, and then we'll work with you on how to connect it. Deborah, you got a question? You want to unmute?
Hi, Charles. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have two questions. I'm from South Africa, and I just want to I'm just backtracking to a previous Monday meeting that you had, where you said you were going to address the orphan cashbacks, of which there were quite a few. I just wanted to know if that has been addressed yet. And then my second question is that I'm getting pre-enrollees every single week, and from there seems to be like a gap. Now, for me, in my brain, it's like, okay, they pre-enrollees, so they haven't signed up to be members yet. That's fine. But somewhere in that mix, that soup, they've got someone, at least one person, surely, would have used the free app, if you know what I'm trying to say. So for me, I would like to know, are the other countries whether you have affiliates and all that kind of stuff, are they getting cashback matches? Or is it just my account, or I'm just being, silly
Well, I
and
think
wondering
so.
about that? Or,
Yes. So Deborah, there is, when you do not have a USA phone number. The app tracking is done on a separate file. So I have that file, and you know, if you're saying that you're not seeing anything there, what I've got to do is cross-reference that and just make sure that the enrollments that come into, we have an account set up. So if you're sending people into the system and you don't have the Savers app yourself, it's on a secondary tracking piece. I've got hundreds of people on that list, and Deborah, there might just be a connection with how it's tracking back to your account. So I'm going to go in there and take a look at it and just basically compare out and make sure that everybody that's come in on that piece has been assigned. Because if it doesn't come in with somebody,
Yes.
we don't assign it. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Yes,
I'd
thank you,
like to
Charles,
get involved in
because
that.
it actually, Save Club actually sends me an email and said, congratulations, such and such a person has pre-enrolled. So it's definitely they are pre-enrolling,
Yeah.
and I want to know it's that jump, like you said, it's that second track. I have sent messages, 2 emails already. I know that you're very busy, so I sent it to you, and then I copied, your support on the Save Club website, but I have yet to receive a reply from them. That's why I'm on this. I just wanted to find out from you, you know.
Okay. Let
It'll
me
be
do
great if
this.
you
Deborah,
take a look
I'm
because
gonna
it's something
message
that
you.
worries me.
Deborah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
message you right now,
Yeah.
in a little private chat here with my number, so that we can get in there and take a look at what's going on.
Are you sending it to my email or?
No, I'm
I
gonna,
mean, what am I saying? Onto my cell phone number? Yes. Okay. Yes, that's great.
yeah, let me just find it right here. Here we go. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. I can see it. Please. Okay,
Yep.
I've got the
Okay.
message.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a
Thank
look
you.
at it today.
That's great. Thanks very much, Charles.
No problem. Yeah. Looking forward to getting to the bottom of that. Okay. Natafia, are you unmuted? Hold on. Let me.
Okay, hey, what's
There you go.
up? Oh, Charles, I like to say thank you first.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I saw you saying, hey, if you're engaged with the engager but not utilizing it, there's a disconnect here. Let's get to the bottom of that, because I want to make it, I want to make sure that the setup process is smooth, and this would be a great way to kind of share how that works, and we've got Emerson here to help us.
Okay. So the other question was the cashback portal. You said you guys are working on that. Is that all set up now?
No, so okay, I've got two options with our cashback portal. The one group that I'm working with has some really cool bonuses where, it's if you do your first amount of shopping, they'll give you additional bonuses. The important thing is that just what ones that working before was the settlement terms were too long. So I want to make sure that when we get our cashback piece in place, we don't have that same problem, because it happens. The way that it happens is shopping happens. It happens on the brand's website. Then they've got their terms to do a settlement, and then it comes back to the organized portal and then into our system. Then we can settle it. Like, that should take like 7 days to no more than 30 days, and the terms are coming back with are like 120 days, 180 days. I said, like, why is that? Um, so why is the gap so big? Because the cashback inside the app happens right away, and it people get it, and that's the same system, that's the same piece that we would want. The other good part about the cashback portal that we're looking into, they've done a great job segmenting the international. One area that we had would be people come in and they get excited about a product, and they'd go to shop and they'd go to check out, and they're like, oh, it's not available in South Africa or the UK or wherever. And so it made it really difficult for people to do um, shopping when they don't know if that website or that company will actually mail to their location. So having it all segmented out is another big piece there. So yeah, so on the cashback portal, it is a heavy lift on putting it into place, and we learned a lot in our original cashback portal. We were able to settle up everybody that got cashback, and that was on the last monthly commissioning. So yeah, so getting that portal in here, and we have cashback and we have shopping, but again, it's limited to inside of the app. And to do a global cashback portal, we still need a little bit more time.
Okay, so with that being said, the app that we download, that basically you don't get cash back with that. I haven't been able to be transparent. I haven't been able to really shop to really take
Yeah.
advantage of it. But I know I got like a notification to update the app, but my phone is really, really full, so I really can't do
Oh.
anything.
Yeah, I would
Right.
definitely update the app. It's actually, when you update, it should pretty much replace the updated version, the regular version. I mean, it's a very small size difference.
Okay.
So you definitely try that. Try the update and see if it shouldn't be, it should replace it. So it shouldn't take up that much more data, if any,
Data.
when
Okay.
doing that. And so yes, the cashback shopping inside the app, as long as you've got your cards uploaded and linked, then it's all native inside the app, and there's still thousands, tens of thousands of retailers and restaurants in there that you can shop with.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Jonathan, we're coming up here at the top of the hour. Go right ahead.
Yes, hello, Charles and Save Club family. Thanks for taking my call or request anyway. I'm having a problem with the Save Club tour link, and besides the misspelling of my name, when I try to test it to see where the lead goes to, it refuses to allow me to put in my username, and because I have a different email address, so I use that, and it doesn't cooperate with me. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah. So John, let me show you. I'm gonna give you a couple ideas here. So when you're logged in to your back office, if you need to change and adjust your name, you just go up here to account settings, and you've got complete control to change this around up here. So you can go in and you can change things from up here. Okay, you're able to edit your username, your email. If your name's spelled wrong or something, you just do it from here inside the account settings.
Account settings, okay.
Yep. And then as far as your referrals, when someone enters in through a website, they utilize one of these websites. When someone puts in their name, phone, or email address through a landing page, they'll be given a pre-enrollee account. And if you'd like to go back for any of these people to log back in, you go here and you put the email address from saveclub.com/login, and you can view their tour.
I can do what?
You can view their tour.
Okay, I can view their tour and find out who responded to signed into the tour and saw it, because I was wondering, where does that splash page response go to? Does it come to me in
He's
email?
asking you for the referrals in the back office, Charles. So that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where to see
and
his opt-ins. He doesn't understand how to see his opt-ins.
okay, cool. Let me go back to let me log out and go back in here. So log into a different account.
To Charles's point, if you're trying to go in as a separate email that you have, Jonathan, he's going to show you where to see your pre-enrollees or your opt-ins. But if you are trying to do it with another email for yourself, sometimes it's good to go to an incognito browser, because what's going to happen is the browser is going to switch to your new pre-enrollee. I just know this from personal experience. So hopefully that makes sense. But Charles is going to show you where to see your opt-ins and the people that are entering their emails into your system. Over to you, Charles.
Yeah. So if anybody comes in through your landing page, you just go over here to my referrals, and then they'll show up in this list right here. And if you need to export the list, there's the export button here, but it'll give you their name and their status inside of here.
Can I call from there?
Anybody that's enrolled,
contact them from there, or do I have to put it in a program or app to contact them?
Yeah, and then you can export the file here and then upload it into CRM. But we'll have the CRM tool part of the suite here. That's something that's coming.
Oh, that sounds great. We were talking about that, and you had given me some suggestions.
Yeah, and that was part of it, Jonathan. As Jonathan came, he says, "Well, I need a CRM." He's like, "Do I use this CRM, that CRM, that CRM?" I said, "Well, if you're going to be work at home entrepreneur in the 21st century, you're going to want to have a CRM in place." So, I started looking at what CRMs are phenomenal out there that have all the tools, because they've gotten so advanced. I've been using contact management systems for over 20 years, and what's available today and what we're coming out with is so cutting edge. It allows you to do the communication. It gives you a personal profile page. There's a lot to it. So yeah, that's and the value that we're able to bring to get all these tools for a once a year price. It's I know that the value is going to be irresistible. I mean, over $2,500 in value for $120. It's just like, we're putting together something that's very powerful.
That sounds awesome. I can't wait to see that, because I really could use something like that to stop using several different computers and phones to try and manage my list, my prospect list, which is voluminous. And because my Save Club tour sheet wasn't set up correctly, I don't have anything to really send to people who's waiting for info. So please, let's take a look at that, and I appreciate your help. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, Jonathan. Yep, you'll be able to adjust it there.
Charles, real fast, Jonathan, just to clarify, the Save Club system is set up and working 100%. I don't understand what you mean, that you're saying it was not set up correctly. So I just wanted to let you know that, like, everything, I get opt-ins, pre-enrollees daily, and the system's working fine, Jonathan.
Yeah, we're getting opt-ins like every like 3 a minute right now. So yeah, the pages are up and working. People are coming in. Go ahead, Colleen.
Charles, thank you for taking my question tonight. I just want to ask, I know you have addressed this orphan accounts because we're in South Africa, but it has become very discouraging from our side, because I have contacted about 10 people in America that have all said they have downloaded the free app. We have never seen any benefits in South Africa. I know you say we are the orphans, but we need to address it, because it does become very discouraging when you're doing the work. And also, the people that are my members that have downloaded the free app haven't seen any cashback. So they're now starting to question me, well, are they going to get cashbacks?
Yeah, right now I'm pulling there must be some sort of disconnect between the referrals that are coming in from people that don't have the app, because all that's natively connected. The lists that we have of where people are coming in from, we do have the user ID of who sent them into the platform. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to find out how to make sure that they're mapping properly from the people coming in. So this would be a perfect use case with the conversation that we had earlier on the call. So if it's a problem that's being over and over then there's something about how we're importing that list and mapping it to everybody. So I'm reaching out to my tech team right now to pull everybody that's in that department onto a group meeting. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Thanks, Charles. And if you can just give us some feedback, because I need to respond to my people as well, just to give them some feedback.
Okay, I have the
Okay.
I have the small list of people that have reported this, so we'll get to the bottom
Okay.
of it.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks.
Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, Charles. How are you today?
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's a beautiful
Okay.
day out here.
So, a real quick question. I went to the exclusive deals yesterday and I needed to buy some more Avoderm. And
Yeah.
so I went to the page and I clicked on the product that I wanted to buy
Yep.
and realized that I didn't put in the code. So I went back, put in the code, Save Club 70. And
Yep.
when my bill came up, instead of the $750, it showed it was charging me $20.
So do this, Jay. The email the Avoderm, it's support@avoderm.com,
Okay.
and they'll know who you are. Just they have your email address and say, hey,
Okay.
I got billed without the Save Club discount, and then they'll just refund it right to your card.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. Yeah. Just say just let them know, just apply the discount, and then they just go into the back office and refund it. So
All right.
I'll let her know.
Awesome. All right.
I'll let them know that something's coming through.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, it's exciting time. We're into spring. Looking forward to getting the tools out here. I want to thank Emerson for coming on and sharing, and getting the Monster Engager dialed up. And Taffy, I'm super excited to watch your progress, to go from setup, utilizing it, getting those engagements, and having it turn into pre-enrollees. So, with that, everybody, thank you for attending the call. Get this recording out, and we'll see you Wednesday night as we'll do an opportunity presentation Wednesday at 5 Pacific. So have a great day.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, bye for now.